Welcome back to the panel. Friday lightning round now, starting with the economy. The unemployment rate dropped to 7%. Jobs, 203,000 jobs added. November unemployment numbers there. The job force is smaller overall. Panel, Charles.
Well, at least this is one time when the drop is not a direct result of people leaving the workforce. So it's a good report. It does show that after 5 years, we're starting to get some kind of progress. Now, we also had a good GDP report, which was quite high, but the problem is there's a lot of inventory in that, which leads the experts to assume that the next quarter will be a lot less. But this could be the beginning of a real decrease in unemployment, and if it is, once you get the magic number 6 in there, I think it's going to help Democrats a lot next year.
And maybe the fact that the markets liked it suggests that maybe you get past that thought that they like when the economy is looking bad and that the Fed's going to continue to
I don't think that lasts forever. I do think, look, we can all say that long-term unemployment and underemployment are still making this nation, and most people in this country, really struggle. Until we get past that and hiring happens at a much quicker pace, it's going to be slow. But it's the right direction. A 5-year low is a 5-year low, and that's good news.
Steve.
Look, Charles is always going out of his way to give the administration credit and to put a positive spin on this for the administration. He did it once again here tonight. Look,
what do you expect from a Mondale speechwriter?
That's exactly what I'd expect. I'm having trouble getting back together with that.
I just want to steal your line there.
Lightning, people, lightning.
You're right. It's not directly attributed to a drop in the labor force participation, but if you take the longer view and put it in context, over the past year, the entire shrinkage is due to the drop in the labor force participation rate. And if we had the same participation rate today that we had a year ago, we would be at 8%. So this is good news only in the context of an Obama economy that isn't doing well.
Okay, the Boston Globe had this story about the president's uncle who faced a deportation hearing. 2011, the White House said that the president had never met him. Yesterday, Jay Carney, the White House press secretary, said this.
Back when this arose, folks looked at the record, including the president's book, and there was no evidence that they had met. There was, that was what was conveyed. Nobody spoke to the president. When Omar Obama said the other day, and there were reports that he had said the other day that President Obama, back when he was a law school student, had stayed with him in Cambridge, I thought it was the right thing to do to go ask him. Nobody had asked him in the past, and the president said that he in fact had met Omar Obama when he moved to Cambridge for law school, and that he stayed with him for a brief period of time until the president's apartment was ready. After that, they saw each other once every few months while the president was in Cambridge, and then after law school they gradually fell out of touch.
Why wouldn't you ask the president in the first place in 2011 when you told the world a falsehood, and you said we scoured the book and he wasn't in there, so we concluded he didn't know him? That's the oddest response I've ever heard. I think, well, I'm not going to speculate, but clearly this administration has trouble finding the truth and saying it, and if you don't ask the principal, you're not going to get the truth, and they know that.
A drunk driving incident ahead of an election. 2011.
Right, that's the problem, is everyone's families are filled with, are fraught with tension and strained ties. When you become the President of the United States, you are held to a different standard and more scrutiny. And if there is a potential news story about a blood relative, people are supposed to ask you, and they're supposed to be honest with the media about it. And it's just hard to pretend that line of that protocol of just looking up something in some intern looking at a book and not having it go to the top is really strange.
And then issue a declarative statement that he had never met.
Yeah. I mean, this is the problem. Either they lied repeatedly, or, best case scenario for the White House, they didn't do their due diligence, and this is how they treat these kinds of issues. When reporters come to them and ask them questions about other issues, is this the kind of way that they treat this? It's terrible.